Officer at Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica. They call me Dr. Jeff because I have a doctorate degree in psychology. And I also studied public health, and I got my master's in public health at UCLA. I'm from Los Angeles, and I've been in Costa Rica about 9 years. I love it here. And this is an amazing facility. And the reason I love it so much is because my background in Los Angeles was working in inpatient facilities such as psychiatric hospitals, drug and alcohol rehabs, and a variety of healthcare environments, including a practice that I had where I met with individual and couples and also families. So I've seen a lot. I've seen what the Western medical model looks like. I've managed divisions of the UCLA Med Center within the OBGYN department, their outpatient clinics. I've been around healthcare my whole life. And so I've been observant of what's happening there. And there's a lot of good that happens there. There's a lot of emergency medicine that's amazing. There's also a lot of very high-end technology-based medical things that are really cool. However, if you have depression or anxiety or have an addiction or have trauma, which is pretty much all of us have one of those, it is really hard to find a methodology that can get you past those diagnoses in the Western model. It just is. And is it possible to get past it? Absolutely. But it's not easy, and it's expensive, and it takes a lot of time. So what I love about Rythmia is that we have a program here that is very efficient, very effective, that we have been fine-tuning since the day we opened through customer experience and the data collection that we do. So we know what works and what doesn't work, and things that don't work, we don't do here. And things that do work, we amplify and get better at and focus on. So our primary modality is ayahuasca. We sit with it in a medically supervised environment. There's a combination of shamans mixed with medical professionals. And I find that to be the perfect blend for Western people who are not familiar with indigenous curandero medical and jungle lifestyle, which is most people that I grew up with in LA. And I've been with my whole life in the US and other parts of the world. It's amazingly adventurous to go off into the jungles of Peru or the mountains of some other part of Colombia. And that's awesome. And that's really cool and exciting and fun. But that's a very narrow niche of people that will do that. And the people that are as I call them, the so-called self-proclaimed spiritual elites, those that believe that everybody should do things their way, I say that that's fine for them, but that's not necessarily the case for everybody on the planet. And I know plenty of people that would not feel comfortable going to an unknown location with an unknown shaman in a part of a remote jungle with no medical care or supervision that anybody that speaks their language. So that part of the plant medicine world is very cool, very exciting. I've done it myself in those environments. It's powerful, it's deep, it's very authentic, and it's really interesting, but it's also very high risk, and there's a lot of danger, and there's a lot of unknowns. And if I was sending my daughter, who's 23, off into the jungles of an unknown area to go drink plant medicine with a bunch of strangers that I don't know who any of them are, nor what their background is with anything, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't recommend it. So what I do recommend is a really safe facility that's the #1 highest rated resort on TripAdvisor, that has thousands of reviews, that has 14,000 alumni, that has a medical license from the Ministry of Health of Costa Rica, that has 3 doctors and 8 nurses on staff and paramedics, as well as 35 shamanic staff and an indigenous healer, Taita Juanito, at the lead of the shamanic team. That's what I would choose because it's safe. And it's a great way to become familiar with this ancient healing modality. And what we're offering at Rythmia is not only plant medicine, but we're also allowing people to learn about breath work, which is really powerful and amazing. And also there's yoga every day, really healthy food, hydrocolonic cleanses, classes, integration each day. There's integration classes every day, and there's context for what you're experiencing, because you might not have grown up in an indigenous village. And so because you probably didn't grow up in the Amazon basin of Colombia, you might not understand the context of maybe what's happening in your experience with ayahuasca. And so what happens is here we have a ton of staff that help you understand what's happening for you and help bring context to it and help you interpret and understand what you're experiencing. And in a nutshell, I can just sum it up very quickly. What you're experiencing is true healing. You're actually healing the things that are holding you back in the wounded events that have led to where you are now. And the emotional situation you're in, and the depression and the anxiety and the things you're using to cope with that through drugs and alcohol, all of that is eliminated when you truly find out who you are and you work on yourself and you do it in a safe way. That's a safe place. So, you know, I love the naysayers of Rythmia. 99% of them have never been here. So I think that's just hilarious. You know, it's like going to a steakhouse and commenting on the restaurant you never ate there. So I love that. You know, that's just great. That's just amazing. You know, so hi to all you people that do that. You know, good for you. And the people that the record of Rythmia speaks for itself. 14,000 alumni and growing. And we are the safest place, in my opinion, in the world to do this, with the most caring staff that I've ever met in my career. And I've worked in some amazing facilities at UCLA and other parts of California. This staff that we have, these people are incredible healers and amazing supportive people. They're beautiful. And just to experience that is worth the trip. So I'd highly recommend that you go online, read about Rythmia on our Facebook page or on our website, look at the TripAdvisor reviews, check out, you know, what's going on with us. If you feel the calling to come and do this with us, come on down. We'd love to have you. It's a beautiful experience and you won't regret it. Thanks for listening. See you guys next week. Pura vida.